With Lululemon, the real gift happens when they're living in it. When you give them the softest loungewear set, the real gift is this. And this. And this. This holiday, Lululemon makes it easy to give a gift that goes beyond. Open the moment. Shop now at Lululemon.com.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon. The holidays are here, and you know what that means? It's time to get your friends and family the gifts they deserve. Take the stress out of shopping with Amazon's great deals and low prices on a huge range of items from toys to tech and much more. Whoever you're gifting for, Amazon has great prices on everything you need this holiday season. Shop Black Friday week deals now.
Bert, you have a very special guest to introduce to our audience here at WABC this morning.
Taylor Woods, who's one of the most fantastic women's leaders academically, societally, athletically. She was captain and champion of pro teams in Canada, national teams in ice hockey, the Arnold Award winner for Strong Woman, along with my friend Alma Kimura in a different weight class. But Taylor, on 50th anniversary of Title IX for equality, gets no support from women-owned and operated businesses, most notably Colleen and Nicole Wegman, who don't give anything to any women's sports where Taylor's played or anywhere else, where if you look at the North Central states, Kroger supports the women, Cub Foods supports the women, but Wegmans doesn't. And Taylor, if you could please explain to John Catsimatidis and Curtis Sliwa and Chad Lopez how you've been scratching and clawing to financially to compete at a championship level in two sports nationally and internationally.
Hey, yeah, good morning. Thanks, Bert. That was a great welcoming. But yeah, in terms of making a mark on terms of female professionalism, it's coaching. I'm actually just going to be coaching on the ice here soon. It's coaching off the ice. It's coaching online. It's coaching everywhere. And for me, it's just that motivation. It's that whole realm and blend of wanting to do more and wanting to grow the sport and just leave it better, so that hopefully the people and the girls that I help have that resource and have that support, or even just have that stage where it's just like they could go on with no thoughts besides just playing the game. But yeah, it's been definitely a very unique professionalism versus what the men get. Rewarding.
4 cents on every dollar. The men get 96 cents. What do you make of that, Taylor? I wish I could see a little bit more of that for sure in my pocket. And just the amount of hours and the amount of sweat that I put into even my own craft, doing it at 6 a.m., doing it at 10 p.m., just doing it when I can. It makes a difference in terms of my performance, but as well as just overall quality and helping out. And Taylor, what do you make of Beth Ford? We're leading the women in agriculture at Land O'Lakes, who works very closely with John Catsimatidis, with D'Agostino and Gristides. Beth Ford at Land O'Lakes is transformational in supporting women, and the Wegman sisters should be and seem like the most penurious people. They just had a major flagship store in the most important suburb of Massachusetts close, and societally, they don't support women, where you and your teammates and friends and family and fans, 80% of the purchase decisions, whether it's Wegmans or other retailers, come from women. But here we have in the East, with Wegmans and many others, women-owned and operated businesses not supporting heroic women like yourselves. You're barely making minimum wage for all your championships because of the lack of support from Wegmans and others, where Beth Ford at Land O'Lakes is supporting people in the Land O'Lakes region, and those players are all doing well financially and living comfortably. What do you make of that?
And I think it's just understanding, like, your team. And, like, my team was my the 17 players that I had on the bench with me driving driving for that championship. Whereas for them, it's what's your team? And even if you look at a little bit more inside, they have a lot of staff. They have a lot of employees. And I think driving one value of, hey, it is an asset to support women, is an asset to lift people up and hear their voice because they bring innovation and different drive and knowledge. So if you could cultivate that in like a business setting, I think it just helps out. Like it helps out everyone, right? And even if it's like, hey, you help it within business, you help it with different athletes or different public figures that support the same message as you. It's better to build something as a team versus individuals. So it's just cultivating a culture and a mindset.
Now, Taylor Woods, this is Curtis Sliwa. You cannot go an inch when you talk about women's related sports, whether amateur or professional, without talking about transgenders getting involved. What is the position that you have? We're dealing with a situation right now, the volleyball tournament up in the Northwest, where teams, collegiate teams, are deciding to accept a forfeit rather than to put their team out on the hardwood to play a game of volleyball against the San Jose team, the collegiate team that has a transgender there at the net.
Yeah. For me, when I was always playing, I always battled of playing on different teams because I was a female. I played on different boys teams because there's no female teams in my area. So when I actually sat in a meeting when I was 9 years old, trying to defend myself on playing the game that I love. So for even my stance is just it's also the level of play, but it's just like, hey, if you want to play. If there's sort of a different demeanor in terms of level, then for sure. But like, if it's at a level, then just play. Like if there's a component, just play the game. Play the game you love. It doesn't matter. It's a standard that you have to push through. And if you could defend, then great. If you play great offense, great. It's a game of volleyball.
Now, question saw the other day, Jessica Campbell is the first full-time female coach in the National Hockey League.
And a teammate of Taylor's.
I saw her on the bench there calling plays for the new Seattle team against the Islanders. How difficult must that be for a woman in an all-male sport where she's got to call for the line changes, she's got to deal with them in the locker room, and something that is about as macho as any sport ever created, smash mouth ice hockey?
Yeah, and I think, again, I played with Jess Campbell. She grew up in the prairies like I did, and she demands respect. She has a great voice, great knowledge, and people and that locker room, right? The guys that are playing for her, listen to her, and that takes a lot of respect, and they also want to win. They realize, what is it going to take for us to win? And it's this girl on our bench because she has all this knowledge, she has all this passion, and she's going to help us become better.
And Taylor, as we're wrapping up the session, what would you tell Colleen and Nicole Wegman? Because you and Digit Murphy, your legendary coach, took an expansion team in Toronto, sold it out, and got to the championship where without Wegman support, when you were playing collegiate and pro hockey, you'd only get a few hundred fans, and the Wegman sisters weren't supporting you. And as women, to your point, women are societal examples for girls, for men, for grandmothers, grandfathers, and all families. What would you tell the Wegman sisters to be societally responsible to support women going forward?
I think even from a business perspective, there's a lot of changes that have been going on in terms of marketing. Like that's why even at the collegiate level, like all these big name athletes are coming out because of NIL. And I know, like when I play, like I leave everything out on the line when I play, and I'm grateful for every person that supports me. So it's not so much even you have that financial, you have
now you have a different relationship with the community and different relationship with these teams that people are going to buy into and support your brand more because of that social marketing aspect. So there's more than just behind the numbers in terms of it. And it's literally just the basics of growing your brand in 2024.
Perfect. And thank you for calling in from Canada, recapping your phenomenal achievements across America, across Canada, and internationally as well. Congratulations on your championships and your leadership, and best to continue to take corrective action for better societal support.
Thank you. My pleasure.
All right. Thank you so much. And I hope you had a good Thanksgiving.